Hello everyone, welcome to Hans Garage. Right now I am in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I'm here about a week. I'm working with Verizon headquarters and I should be heading home on Tuesday. So this video I'm going to talk a lot about how I started my YouTube channel, about where I am right now and what I'm going to do in the future. So this whole channel started with buying a project car back in 2014. I was studying programming and I was just bored one day and I wanted to browse Craigslist for a manual car. And I've always wanted a manual car for a long time. And I was looking into very cheap manual cars. My budget was around $2,000 at the time. And I was looking into Volkswagen Passat or anything cheap really. I wasn't really looking into BMWs at all. And then I found this BMW 328i just popped into my screen on the Craigslist. And I started looking into it more. It was really clean inside and out. And I called the owner that day, that same exact day, and he said he had it. So I went to his house, I checked it out. I bought it for $2,300 at the time. And when I went to his house, I thought I knew how to drive manual, but then thinking about it now, I had no idea how to drive manual at all. I barely got home, even though I only stalled once. I just didn't understand the whole concept of driving the manual car. So I barely brought the car back home and I left it overnight. In the morning I was excited to start the engine, and when I did, the RPM started to jump like crazy. And I found out after 2 to 3 weeks of studying and researching everything, it was the Vanos system. And that was the first thing I've ever had to do for my project car. Through researching YouTube, through researching Google, all these forum websites, and I couldn't find a good tutorial video. And I thought, okay, if I were to do this project for myself, let me record it and let me start showing everyone else how to do it step by step. That was my thing, because a lot of videos on YouTube, they would talk about what they do. They kind of like show what they're doing, but they don't really show step by step. So I thought, okay, let me just make videos that are step by step, very easy to follow, and go from there. And now I have 3,000 subscribers now, and thank you guys for watching, because I honestly didn't plan on, being a YouTuber at all. And now here I am. So I've started my project with my 328i. That car got totaled. It was hit by a drunk driver. I was rear-ended and I wasn't even speeding. I wasn't even going. I wasn't even moving. And drunk driver just rear-ends me. He had a Honda Odyssey and I was really pissed because his car was perfectly fine. And my rear quarter panels were completely destroyed and it was totaled on the spot. And I was so mad because I poured my sweat, my blood, and all my time and pretty much all of my savings at that time into my 328i. I painted it matte black myself for the first time and people loved it. It wasn't like the best it wasn't like the best paint job out there, but it was decent enough to look nice enough. And people were like, oh, I can't believe you did that by yourself. And I was very proud of myself for doing that. So that car's gone. And about 2 to 3 months after, I got a 330i and I started making so many more videos with that car. And you can follow my playlist. There's just so many things, everything that I've done step by step for my 330i. And along the way, one of my friends, he had an E36 M3 and he has 3 cars, this guy. So he's got S2000, he's got Acura Integra, and he's got the E36 M3. And I thought, yo, if you're not driving the E36 M3, because at the time it was kind of going on its way to replace some things and, all these regular maintenance for BMW. So I asked him if I could borrow his car and work on it and make some contents off of it for you guys. And honestly, because it wasn't my car, the whole idea was amazing, because like, it's not my car. I could put it in my garage and I can just work on it whenever I can, whenever I have time. But then because it wasn't my car, I would just forget about it. I would do my own projects. I would help out my friends, and I would just neglect this E36 M3. And I've had it close to a year right now. And I always tell my friend Peter, like, Peter, I want to get your car out of my garage. I want to finish this car and I want to I don't want to see it anymore. So last week, what I had to do was, up to a point where I had it for about a year, I replaced the headers. I replaced the clutch set. He gave me E34 M5 clutch set for me to replace into his car. And I replaced slave cylinder and all these minor things. So these videos, I recorded the videos, I just have to edit them and put it up. So I made the car drivable. It was perfectly drivable again, and Peter came to see and he drove it, and he was really excited because he hasn't seen it for a whole year and he wanted to track it. He had all these crazy plans for it in the future. But then my other friend I'm not even gonna name my other friend. My other friend, he came to my house. We were about to go to a car show and he saw the E36 M3. He's like, "Oh, can I drive this thing? Is this drivable?" I'm like, "Yeah." And split second, I thought, okay, this is not my car. I shouldn't let everyone drive my friend Peter's car all the time, which I have before. My other friend named John, he drove it before. I drove it before. And then Peter came and he drove it before. And it was perfectly fine. The car was in good shape. But then when my other friend came over, he drove it and he money shifted from second gear to first gear. And I hear engine over revving like crazy, and it was completely done after that. We had to tow the car back to my house. Luckily, it was only a mile away from my house. So we towed the car back to my house. And I'm thinking, how should I tell Peter about what just happened? Because it's not my car. I let my friend drive Peter's car. And my other friend doesn't know Peter at all. And the engine's destroyed. Peter drove it that day, and when he went home, my other friend came to my house to drive the car, and the engine's destroyed. So how should I tell this to Peter? And Peter, when I told him over the phone, he did not like it. He just had nothing to say. He didn't know anything to say, and I completely understood where he was coming from because it was his car. I shouldn't have let anyone drive his car, and the worst possible scenario happened in reality. And here I am. We've somehow worked everything out together to buy another engine from eBay, which was in great shape, by the way. So it was $2,200. It was taken out from a millionaire's car, and he took great care of it. And we're hoping that it is a good engine. We just have to swap the engine in, and it'll be as good as new. It's got low miles, 123,000 miles. That's not so bad considering how old it is. And supposedly it's got a lot of stuff done to it. So we're hoping that this engine will run. So that's where I am right now. So once I get back home, I need to drop the engine of the E36 M4 and hopefully work my way up to changing the engine, swapping the engine, and then putting all the cables back together, and then hopefully the car will run. That is my hope right now. Because I don't know if you guys have been following my channel, I've bought another project car, 330xi, about a month ago, and I picked it up from Philly. I got it for $2,000. I wanted it initially for my winter. I wanted it initially for winter season, so because it has all-wheel drive, and I've spun around 2 to 3 times in my 330i, so I don't want to experience that ever again. So I bought another E46 330xi for myself, for me to work on, and then really work on my 330i and track it. That was my goal. And the E36 M3 was almost done. I just had to fix minor things, couple of things here and there, and give it back to Peter. But then my friend had to ruin it, and I shouldn't have let him drive. And it is what it is. Past is the past. Right now I'm thinking about going home, fixing Peter's car, and getting rid of it. Getting out of my garage. And that's where I am. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know how I'm going to edit this video. I think I'm just going to post it up without editing. And I'm going to eat dinner now. Enjoy the view, enjoy my other videos. Please subscribe, follow, comment, and browse through my channel for my 330i videos and more upcoming videos coming soon. So I'll see you guys next time.